If you did not gain any weight as a skinny guy coming into 2025, you must have done something terribly wrong in 2024. And in this video, I'm going to uncover 10 habits that you can form as a skinny guy looking to bulk or gain weight. And by implementing these 10 habits, you can finally see strength gains in the gym because you're heavier and you can lift more weights, seeing PRs almost weekly, and also building more muscle mass so they can see that your body is being more defined. And because of that, you get into the best shape of your life. And because of getting into the best shape of your life, you can finally be confident and proud of something you have built. These are the 10 habits that I also use for the clients that I work with that want to gain weight as well as building an aesthetic physique. And if you're interested, the link is in the description. And without further ado, these are 10 habits to gain 10 kg in 2025. The first habit that you must form as a skinny guy is to start eating junk food, at least slightly more. But you may be asking right now, but Tim, I thought you said in your previous video that we shouldn't be eating junk food, right? Well, there is some half-truth to it, but the reason why I'm telling you to eat slightly more junk food is to gain that extra few hundred calories that you may be missing out throughout the day for your caloric surplus. And not to mention, the disclaimer is that it is fine to eat junk food just as long as your diet doesn't consist of just junk food. And you may be also asking this question right now, which is that, okay Timothy, I know that you're telling me to eat junk food to gain the extra few hundred calories, but I don't want to eat too much junk food such that I will become fat if I eat too much of it. And this brings me to my next point, which is to start tracking your calories. I cannot stress more about the importance of tracking your calories, and there's a reason why I keep preaching it in my channel. Just imagine yourself a few months ago before discovering my channel. You may not be tracking your calories, you're just estimating the amount of food you're eating every day, hoping that you're gaining weight every day, but you're not. And this will go on for weeks, and weeks will become months, and months will become years, and you're just wasting time just thinking that you're eating enough. That's why tracking your calories is so important, because you can evaluate whether you're eating enough based on the previous day so that you can change your approach for the next day. Besides tracking your calories, you also need to start tracking this metric. Without tracking this metric, you wouldn't know whether you're making any progress or not, because it is also directly correlated based on how many calories you have eaten. And this metric is to start tracking your weight. Tracking your weight is kind of like the same thing as tracking your calories, because it is there to keep you accountable, and it's also there to evaluate whether you're doing the right things based on the actions of yesterday. Now that you know the importance of tracking your calories and tracking your weight, as well as eating more junk food, without doing this next habit, you will not be maximizing the amount of weight you're gaining, and it is to start resistance training. This is the reality of people who just bulk, who just eat more, who just reach their caloric surplus goals for every day, but they just become a bigger version of themselves, from a skinny guy to, a normal guy that's just average. But the problem is that they did not implement any resistance training. And the reason why your body needs resistance training is because, first of all, you get more sexier, you get well-defined muscles, but doing resistance training is also a way to tell your brain that, hey brain, I need muscles right now because I'm lifting heavy. And that way, the muscles will retain. Now that you know that lifting weights is so important, the next important step is to start prioritizing your protein intake. If you're a beginner and you just don't know how many grams of protein you have to eat every day, the general guideline is that you have to eat 1.2 to 1.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. But for those that are in the US, it is around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Based on what I said just now, you can just calculate how many grams of protein you have to eat every day. Now that you know how many grams of protein you have to eat, you have to start considering buying mass gainers, because mass gainers will help you a lot in consuming more calories as well as protein much more easier. If you already have a mass gainer, if you're not doing this right now, you're missing out on so much gains, because without doing this one simple step, you will miss out on eating more meals. And not to mention, if you do this step, you will also save a lot of time and a lot of stress, and it is also time efficient. You don't have to spend hours spending on forming this new habit. And this habit is to make liquid calories. More specifically, to add more ingredients into your protein shake. There are many types of ingredients you can put into your liquid calories, which I will talk about more later on in this video. However, there's a reason why so many influencers, including myself, preach the importance of drinking liquid calories, because liquid calories are so easy to consume. Now, you may be asking, alright Timothy, I need to start drinking liquid calories. I need to start prioritizing my protein intake. But you also tell me that I need to eat more junk food, but not so much that I will get too fat. But what should the rest of my diet consist of? What kind of diets should I implement? Keto diet, carnivore diet, Mediterranean diet, or other fat diets that are out there? Well, I don't specifically follow a certain diet because you just need to know what are the high quality, calorie dense food that are out there. And that brings me to my next point, which is to start eating more high quality, calorie dense food. Just a disclaimer here, the food recommendations that I'm going to give are specifically for non-vegans. However, if you're a vegan watching this video, I still believe that you can still extract some value out of it because it isn't entirely non-vegan. With that out of the way, what are the high quality, calorie dense food that are out there? And I even have a whole video dedicated to what kinds of food that you can buy at a grocery store. Basically, the 8 foods that I recommended in that video are milks, peanut butter, bananas, eggs, oats, chia seeds, chicken breast, as well as white rice. The reasoning behind why I chose those 8 foods is because I take into account of what are the macronutrients. When I talk about macronutrients, I'm talking specifically about protein, carbs, and fats. And as us skinny guys, we need to eat more fat because we tend to have a lower body fat percentage. And not to mention, it also has 9 calories per gram of fat. That's why it is very calorie dense as well. But you also need to start eating healthy fats, which brings me to my next point, which is to add more high quality fats. And those kind of foods can be found in chia seeds, salmon, and basically fats in meat. And there's a misconception about, fat is bad for you. But for us skinny guys, we can afford to eat more fat. As I said just now, we have a lower body fat percentage. And because of that, you will also catch a cold easily. And if you're doing any work throughout the day, and you just catch a cold, you just keep sneezing and sneezing. And at some point, it will get so annoying that you just want it to stop. And the solution is to eat more fat. Stop sleeping on it. And the lesson here is that 30% of your diet should consist of fat. Since now that you know what are the right kinds of food to eat, as well as doing some resistance training, without cultivating this one habit or making this one mistake, 90% of the time, you will not hit your caloric surplus goals. And by cultivating this one habit alone, you can get to eat more meals throughout the day. And the best part about it is that you will not feel bloated from one meal to another. And the answer to this is that you have to start waking up earlier. Now, I know this may not sound like a sexy answer, but hear me out. An average person takes around 3 hours to digest their food. And let's just say that you wake up at 7 a.m. every day and you end your day at 10 p.m. That's more than 12 hours of time to digest your food. And if you take 12 divided by 3, that's 4 meals throughout the day. And an average person only eats 3 meals a day. And imagine you need to eat 3,200 calories throughout 3 meals. That's like what? More than 1,000 calories per meal. And sometimes it's not feasible to eat that much per meal. And if you eat 4 meals throughout the day, you can just spread out and you don't have to stuff yourself by making yourself bloated. Alright, you may be saying things like, but Timo, I don't have time to wake up early to prepare for breakfast because the campus or the workplace or the school, whatever place you're going to in the morning, is quite far away. And I need to wake up early so that I have more time to commute to these places. Alright, fair enough. If waking up early isn't a feasible option for you, the next best thing that you should do as a skinny guy is to start scheduling or planning your meals ahead. And by doing this, you will approach your diet in a more strategic manner instead of winging it throughout the day, hoping that you hit your caloric surplus goals. And you can do this by writing down what kinds of ingredients or foods you want to eat throughout the day, such as in your Google Sheets, what else are there, like Notes and Microsoft Excel, or whatever application suits you best. Now, if you need any help with planning your meals, gaining weight, as well as gaining an aesthetic physique, you can get my help. The link is in the description. If you need a more in-depth tutorial or guide on how to eat more with the right strategies, you can watch this video right here that will pop up. Go check it out.